Late afternoon at the suburban Toronto house. A late afternoon, as the golden hues of sunset stream through the window, casting long, eerie shadows across the worn wooden floor of a suburban Toronto house. The atmosphere is quiet, yet brimming with tension on the verge of erupting. Claire, a devoted homemaker with neatly tied brown hair, is carefully arranging a few items on the table. Her expression is pensive, her eyes concealing a deep sorrow. Suddenly, the sound of the front door opening shatters the stillness. The light of the sunset floods in, creating a stark contrast between the warmth of the past and the coldness of the present. Gavin, Claire's husband, enters the room with a cold demeanor and a sharp voice, exuding a decisiveness that leaves no room for emotion. Beside him stands Aurora, a youthful, stylish woman radiating confidence with her bright eyes, clutching the hand of a small child, around preschool age. Gavin, in a cold, commanding tone, "When I return, you and the child need to leave this house. The month is almost over. Sign the divorce papers now." Gavin raises an eyebrow, a harsh smile flickering across his face as if he's carving Claire's fate in stone. The air in the room thickens, each moment stretching into eternity. Gavin, continuing with a mocking edge, "This is the final step. You and the child no longer have any rights in this house. From now on, we're strangers." Claire stands frozen, her heart pierced by Gavin's words. Tears well in her eyes, but she struggles to hide the pain within. She clenches her fists, clinging to the last remnants of her dignity. Aurora, with a fake smile, speaking cheerfully to Claire. "Claire, you still look as simple as ever, but things are different now." Aurora's words cut like a sharp jab, intensifying the tension. The contrast between Aurora's beautiful, confident exterior and the sorrow saturating Claire's gaze becomes painfully clear. After a prolonged silence, Claire slowly approaches the table where the divorce papers sit stacked. She touches each sheet with trembling hands, as if feeling the blades severing the sweet memories of the past. Claire, whispering, her voice trembling yet resolute. "Why? Why have you come to this coldness? I need to know the real reason, not just empty words to let go." Gavin, his face devoid of emotion, merely raises an eyebrow as though his words have become routine. Aurora smirks disdainfully, her eyes brimming with pride and arrogance. Gavin, repeating, his voice sharper, "We've been living apart for a long time, Claire. I've decided to end this relationship, and this is the only way to make things clear." The air in the room freezes, each second dragging on endlessly. Claire stares at the divorce papers, her eyes brimming with tears, yet flickering with a determination to uncover the truth. As the sunset fades, darkness begins to envelop the room. Claire recalls the happy days gone by, the mornings filled with laughter, the warm family dinners. But now, those are just faded memories, like old photographs losing their color over time. Claire, whispering to herself, her voice laden with sorrow yet strength, "You've turned us into strangers, transformed love into these dry divorce papers. But I won't let this deceit destroy who I am." Claire bows her head, tears streaming down her cheeks, yet a spark of resilience glimmers in her eyes. She resolves that to close this painful chapter, she must confront the truth, not just for herself, but for her son Noah, who awaits the true protection and love of his mother. Gavin steps closer to Claire, his expression icy. He places a pen on the table, as if awaiting her surrender. Aurora stands beside him, her arrogant gaze faltering slightly as she notices the pain in Claire's eyes. Gavin, in a cold tone, issuing a final command. "Claire, this is the truth. I've made my decision. You just need to sign the papers, and it'll all be over." Claire lifts her eyes, staring at Gavin with unyielding resolve. Claire, her voice ringing out, channeling all her pain and strength. "No, Gavin. Before I sign anything, I need to know the real reason. Why do you want to end everything? What turned our love into this coldness, into an irreversible declaration of separation?" A moment of silence hangs in the air, all eyes in the room fixed on Claire. The atmosphere grows heavy, as if burdened by years of lies and pain. Aurora, with a mocking tone, tinged with unease. Claire, you no longer control his feelings. Everything's changed. You just need to accept reality. Claire tightens her fists, tears falling, but her gaze never wavers. Claire, with a strong, determined voice. I won't accept a breakup without the truth. If you can't give me a reason, I'll never sign these papers. I demand transparency, for myself, for my son. Gavin freezes for a moment, his eyes dropping to the divorce papers before slowly closing. The scene grows suffocatingly tense, Claire's defiant words echoing through the room. The light outside fades completely, leaving only a dim haze. Claire stands in the living room, the unsigned divorce papers in hand, gazing out the window as the sunset gives way to night. Noah, her son, approaches with innocent yet fragile eyes and wraps his arms tightly around her. Noah, softly, his voice trembling, Mom, we'll be okay. Show me how strong you are. Claire gently embraces Noah, her voice a vow not just for herself, but for their family's future. Claire, whispering, resolute, I won't let this betrayal destroy me. From now on, I'll seek the truth, and you'll always be sheltered by my love. In the living room of the suburban Toronto house, the air is heavy and stifling, as if holding years of unresolved pain. The faint light from the ceiling lamp reflects off the neatly stacked divorce papers on the table, a cold testament to a relationship that has withered. Claire stands silently by the table, her trembling hands gripping the papers Gavin left behind. Each printed word feels like a dagger plunging into her heart. She senses the profound betrayal, realizing that her years of dedication and sacrifice for the family have been ruthlessly discarded. Claire, softly, her voice choked with tears, I gave everything to this family. How could it come to being cast aside like this? Her voice echoes faintly, steeped in sorrow, like a distant memory that will never return. Tears fall silently, but within her, a small flame begins to ignite. At that moment, Logan, Claire's 16-year-old son, steps forward, his eyes filled with compassion and concern. His gaze sparkles like stars, reflecting faith and hope amid the darkness of betrayal. Logan, gently, his voice brimming with love and encouragement. Mom, I know you're strong. We'll get through this. Logan's words are a soothing balm, easing Claire's pain and rekindling her belief in the power of maternal love and resilience. Though young, his soul has matured through countless trials, always ready to stand by his mother in her darkest moments. In that instant, amid the gloom and unbearable pain, Claire feels a new strength surging within her. Gavin's humiliating words and abandonment ignite an unquenchable resolve. Claire, her voice firm and resolute, I'm not someone who can be easily defeated. I won't let these degrading words strip me of my worth. Her words reverberate through the room like a declaration from a woman asserting her place amid life's storms. Claire decides that if the truth remains hidden, she will unflinchingly demand clarity, not just for herself, but for Logan's future. After voicing her pledge of self-affirmation, Claire slowly sets the divorce papers back on the table and stands tall, her gaze unwavering as it meets Gavin's. The pain lingers, but it has transformed into an inner strength, ready to demand explanation and justice. Claire, with a grave voice addressing Gavin directly. Gavin, before I sign anything, I want to know, why? Why did you decide to end this relationship so coldly? I need to understand the real reason, for the love we once shared and for Logan's future. Gavin, his face cold and emotionless, remains silent for a moment before responding. His silence heightens the tension, as if every answer hangs in the balance. While Gavin has yet to reply, the room's atmosphere seems to compress years of deceit and agony. Logan stands by his mother, his eyes following her every move, as if he knows this is a pivotal moment for their family. Logan, softly with hope. Mom, we don't have to accept what's unfair. We'll find the truth, and from there, we'll build a better future. His words remind Claire that, despite the pain threatening to bury everything, the light of truth and justice will eventually shine through. As Logan's voice echoes in the stillness, Claire slowly raises her head, her eyes blazing with determination. She knows that to move forward, she must face the past and demand the truth from Gavin. Claire, with a strong voice, affirming herself, "I've never been weak, and now I demand a precise explanation. If you can't give me the real reason, then at least I'll find the truth for myself, for me, for my son, and for everything we deserve." The family rights negotiation. In the living room of the old suburban Toronto house, the atmosphere grows heavy with tension and resolve. The worn wooden dining table becomes the center of the meeting, where every statement and negotiation resounds like the piercing call of truth unveiled. Gavin sits silently at the head of the table, his eyes cold and devoid of emotion. Beside him stands Aurora, the youthful, stylish woman, her smirk both playful and mocking. Across from them, Claire, with a resilient stance, yet eyes full of sorrow, stands with her 16-year-old son, Logan, by her side. After a few seconds of silence, Gavin breaks the quiet. Gavin, calmly, his voice heavy. "To be clear, I won't pay any divorce settlement. All the property in this house belongs to me, and per the plan, you and the child need to leave." Gavin's tone rings out like the decree of a ruler, laced with arrogance and cruelty. The air in the room grows denser, each word he utters severing another thread of their long-standing emotional bond. Aurora steps forward slightly, her confident gaze tinged with mockery. Her light laughter rings out, unable to mask the sharp sarcasm. "Aurora!" Smirking, speaking mockingly. "We'll start a new life, right? You'll find another place to live, and I'll take care of my child." Aurora's words slice through Claire's heart, yet they also highlight the stark contrast between their lifestyles. While Aurora flaunts her confidence and sophistication, Claire faces emptiness and deep sorrow. But within her, a fire of determination begins to blaze. With eyes aflame, Claire lifts her head high, refusing to let injustice dim her self-worth. She speaks with emotion, yet unwavering resolve. "Claire," her voice clear and determined, "family isn't just about property or a place to live. I've spent my entire life nurturing love for my child. Logan isn't just a responsibility, he's my pride." Her words resound powerfully in the space, a vow from a mother who refuses to be diminished. Claire's statement asserts that, even if everything around her crumbles, her love and sacrifice for her son remain invaluable, beyond the reach of money or legal contracts. Logan, standing beside his mother, cannot hide his worry, but shows unwavering support. Though only 16, he displays remarkable maturity through his inspiring words. Logan, gently, his voice full of hope. "Mom, we'll be fine. I don't want to see you suffer anymore." Logan's words warm her soul, making Claire feel she's not alone. The bond between mother and son, though threatened by separation, shines brightly and fiercely, an unextinguishable flame. Gavin maintains his cold, rigid facade, a sneer forming as he speaks again. Gavin, with a mocking laugh, his voice cold. "If you don't accept, I'll proceed according to the contract. I'll pay for Logan's education until he graduates, but nothing more." Gavin's words carry a clear threat, as if he's trying to force Claire into an agreement she doesn't want. In that moment, his iciness amplifies the injustice, making the living room's atmosphere suffocatingly tense. Unable to endure Gavin's oppression any longer, Claire stares at him, her eyes blazing with defiance. Her voice rises, filled with emotion and self-respect. Claire, with a strong, determined voice. "I'm the one who carried everything, from raising our child to maintaining this home. I don't need support from someone who abandoned his family." Claire's words strike Gavin like a blow, leaving him without a rebuttal. Her tone softens, but each word carries the strength of a woman who has endured too much pain and is now ready to stand up for her worth. As Claire's words ring out, the room grows even heavier, the tension so thick it seems the house itself holds its breath. Aurora, beside Gavin, loses her confident gleam, while Gavin merely shrugs, unable to counter Claire's resolve and strength. Meanwhile, Logan stands by his mother, his eyes tracking every movement, as if he understands this is a defining moment for their family's future. As the tension peaks, silence falls for a few seconds. Then, Claire slowly picks up the divorce papers, not to accept the separation, but to buy time to reflect and demand answers from Gavin. Her silence is a declaration that, despite betrayal and abandonment, she retains the power to decide and protect her and her son's rights. Weeks later, at the lawyer's office. A few weeks after the tense negotiation, in a luxurious lawyer's office in downtown Toronto. Warm light bathes the tidy room where all legal documents have been finalized. In a solemn atmosphere, Claire sits across from the lawyer, while Gavin and Aurora, figures of betrayal, stand silently on the other side, their eyes hollow. The lawyer, with a calm yet unwavering voice, begins, "Lawyer, the court has approved the divorce terms as agreed. All property in the house will be transferred to Claire, and her husband must repay all funds misused." Amid the echoes of the pronouncement, Gavin and Aurora lower their heads, their faces revealing utter disappointment. The room freezes, the space thick with tension, and the shame of those who once wielded power. Lawyer, continuing, his voice stern and authoritative. "Furthermore, you, those responsible for betraying love, must visit Claire's mother's grave to apologize for abandoning her beloved. This is a necessary condition to close the past fairly and transparently." A suffocating silence engulfs the room. Each word from the lawyer sweeps away false hopes like a storm, bringing forth the light of truth and justice. Claire slowly raises her head, her eyes sharp and confident, as if she has gathered all the strength from her past pain in this moment. Her voice rings out, calm yet powerful. "Claire, finally, justice has been served. Family isn't something anyone can buy or manipulate for personal gain. I've given everything to what's most sacred, love and care for my child. The truth, though painful, must ultimately be spoken." Her words echo through the room, a proclamation of freedom and resolve to be reborn. In Claire's eyes, there's no trace of weakness or hesitation, only the undeniable strength of a woman who has triumphed over adversity. Gavin, once arrogant and assured, now bows his head slowly. His gaze turns vacant, as if all his pride and power have been swept away by the tide of justice. Aurora, flustered and ashamed, turns away without a word. Their silence is an admission of defeat, an acknowledgement that their wrongs have finally been exposed to the light of truth. As Gavin and Aurora quietly leave the office, Claire remains seated beside the lawyer. Her face radiates gentle solace, yet unwavering strength. Logan, her 16-year-old son, steps forward, his eyes brimming with hope and determination. Logan, warmly, "Mom, we've made it through this. Now it's time to start a new chapter, a brighter future." Claire smiles, her eyes shining with faith in herself and their family's love. She gently hugs Logan, a promise that, no matter how dark the past, the future always opens for those who rise after falling. Claire, whispering resolute, "I've overcome betrayal, and now justice has prevailed. This isn't just the end of a chapter, it's the beginning of a new future where we'll rebuild our family on love and honesty." The lawyer nods, satisfied with the outcome, and informs Claire that the final legal documents are complete. She can return home with the confidence that, no matter the challenges ahead, she now holds the reins of her life. As Claire and Logan leave the lawyer's office, the fading sunlight bathes Toronto's skyline, carrying hope for a fresh start. In their hearts, the pain of the past has been soothed by truth and justice, opening a new page in their lives, one where love and mutual respect take precedence. 1 year after the tumultuous divorce, a year after the stormy divorce, in the peaceful garden behind a new suburban Toronto home, The soft morning sunlight filters through lush green leaves, creating a scene brimming with hope and renewal. This is when Claire, now promoted to head nurse at the local hospital, steps into a new chapter of her life, leaving old wounds behind and embracing a brighter future. With eyes full of hope's light, Claire stands amid the garden. Her hand gently brushes over vibrant red rose petals and pure white orchids, as if each flower tells a story of the past while marking the start of something new. A gentle breeze rustles through, and the cheerful chirping of birds rises like a symphony of rebirth. In that serene moment, Claire whispers, her voice soft yet confident. Claire, whispering, "Mom and Dad, I've grown stronger." Her words echo through the garden's corners, sending faith into a future unburdened by the past. Each petal, each ray of light reminds her that, despite enduring immense pain, she can now stand and move forward. Just then, Logan, Claire's 16-year-old son, now a youthful, vibrant, and strong young man, runs to her side. His eyes gleam with trust and resolve, affirming that no storm can sever the bond of mother and son. Logan, warmly, with hope. "Mom, I'll always be by your side no matter what." Logan hugs her tightly, bringing the warmth and steadfast belief of youth. The embrace is not just comfort, but a promise that, from now on, they'll build a new life together, where old wounds heal through love and sincerity. In the distance, through the garden window, the silhouettes of Gavin and Aurora, once wielders of power and creators of pain, fade into bitter memories. Their careers have faltered, their reputations shattered, the lavish life they once flaunted reduced to fragments of a bygone era. They no longer have the strength to play their game. The garden's tranquil space amplifies the contrast between Claire's present and the dark past she overcame. Each blooming flower, each gentle breeze resonates with the freedom and desire to live authentically of this courageous woman. Claire walks forward, her steps light yet steady on the stone path. She pauses before a row of ancient trees, where sunlight weaves through the leaves, painting a vivid natural scene. Looking at it, Claire feels as if her old wounds have been washed away, freed from the shackles of the past. Claire, smiling warmly to Logan, "You know, life is for learning and growing. Every challenge, every wound makes us stronger." Her words are the wisdom of someone who has faced hardship, urging her son to cherish life's lessons. Logan nods, his eyes shining with faith and hope, as if he understands that through struggles, love and confidence are the most precious treasures. The garden's peaceful setting, with birdsong and soft breezes, becomes a harmonious ode to rebirth and hope, etching into Claire's mind that the past is gone. She tells herself that every mistake, every scar is part of the journey to becoming stronger. Claire steps out of the garden, her eyes sparkling with the light of a future unbound by old nightmares. Each step carries the meaning of freedom, of reclaiming control over her life. She resolves to pour her heart into her hospital work, caring for patients and her beloved son, Logan, who will walk with her on the radiant path ahead. Claire, softly, full of vitality. "From now on, we won't look back at what's gone. We'll move forward with gratitude for the lessons learned and faith in a brighter future." Logan, beside her, holds her hand tightly, a pledge that they'll face any challenge together. Logan, cheerfully with resolve. "Mom, I promise I'll always be with you. We'll write a new chapter together, where love and truth always triumph." The tranquil garden under the morning sun stands as proof of Claire's rebirth. In every petal, every gentle breeze, she finds solace, faith, and hope. The past, though filled with pain and betrayal, now fades into faint marks against the sky of her future. Claire reflects, her mind echoing the advice of those who once loved and nurtured her. Life is for learning and growing. True strength comes from rising after every fall. With each step, Claire feels liberated, free, in control, and brimming with confidence. She knows that, no matter the difficulties ahead, her family's love and her perseverance will carry her through. The screen fades to black with the words, "A divorce isn't just the end of a relationship, it's the start of a new chapter where justice is served and true love is built from what has passed." If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to follow more journeys in life.